Attention, prisoner 903-8970, you're up for parole.
American Arts Radio presents live from Chisel Multimedia Studios, Comics on Parole in Hollywood South. Here's your host, Dan Glazer.
Welcome to Comics on Parole. Today we have the big honor of having live from New York, comedian, actor, all-around entertainer, Mr. Bob Greenberg.
Hello, all the way from New York. Do I have to shout? Because I'm all the way. Where are you, in Florida?
No, we're in Atlanta. This is Hollywood, Comics on Parole in Hollywood South.
Atlanta. Wow, I did a show there with my wife. It was a circus called Pomp, Duck, and Circumstance back in '96.
Oh my God, I was here then. Where did you perform it at?
Oh God, now you ask me. It was a tent. It was a dinner theater. I don't remember. Peachtree.
Oh yeah, well, everything's Peachtree. Dick Van Dyke lived here for a number of years.
Oh, cool.
He was on our local. He was our local weatherman and did stories back in the late '50s, early '60s. And he came to he was part of what's called the Wits End Players here in Atlanta. It was a comedy sketch. And he came back 30 years later and said, I lived here when there was one peach tree. We have about 20 different peach trees. But you got it, you were on Peachtree.
It was near the Margaret Mitchell house?
Yes, that which burnt down.
Which had just burnt down.
Oh, God, that seems just like yesterday. Oh my God.
Every day now, or
they rebuilt it. They rebuilt it.
It was near, if I look to the left, it would have been over there.
That's right. That's how close it. Wow.
You know where I was?
Yes. Know exactly where you were. I wonder if that theater's. So anyway, Bob.
It was a tent.
Huh? It was a tent?
It was a tent. Yeah, it was a circus dinner theater.
Wow. My God, that 96 seems just like yesterday. But I remember that it probably burnt down right after your play, right?
No, we I think it had burnt down before we got there.
Okay.
I went to see it, and they said there was some chazarai, as the Italians.
Okay.
Some chazarai, and we didn't see it. I believe it was burned down.
So I've known Bob. We've been Facebook friends for a number of years, communicated for a number of years now, and I've been wanting him to get on the show. And Bob really. He's a comedian, but he's been on a lot of New York TV shows, and I got to ask you about Robert De Niro and the Friars Club. I don't know if that's a scene to a movie, but we'll get there. But before we go there, let's start with a young Bob Greenberg. Where's a young Bob?
I'm a member of the Sons of Fun. On the top is the late Russ Riley, who's a best friend of mine. And then below me is Rob Costello, who's still with us, thank God. And we did this cable show. And then when Manhattan Cable TV was in its infancy,
right?
We did this cable show. We did a sketch I remember called Master Race Theater, which featured a little Hitler comedian on it. And had he been a better comedian, perhaps history would have been different. You know, one of those things. And we had a lot of fun on that show.
How old are you in that picture?
Yes, that was on Manhattan Cable TV when there was like 32 stations.
Oh wow, it was on table. How old are you in that picture?
Well, let's see, probably around 20. On that picture, you mean? Probably 25.
Okay, so when you were in high school, you went to a theater school, right?
Well, I went to the High School of Art and Design.
Right, okay.
I was a cartoonist initially, wound up being a film major. Russ and Rob, both cartoonists. I wound up in film. And then from the High School of Art and Design, I went to the School of Visual Arts, where I majored in film.
Got it.
And of course, everything I learned is completely null and void today. We don't have A and B rolling. No. We don't need lights. You know, there's no roll camera, roll sound, action. Now
go to the Jim Carrey.
You know, it's so easy now. look at my lighting. It's pretty damn good. This is just
makeup. I forgot to call makeup. Sorry. Okay, now explain to us this picture, Bob.
Oh, that's Jim Carrey.
Yeah.
Maybe you've heard of him?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, Jim Carrey and myself. I was booked on Saturday Night Live. The casting director's name was Matt McHugh, and the writers of the monologue was Colin Just. Maybe you've heard of him. I sound like Bill Franklin. Maybe you've heard of him. And John Mulaney. They were writing the monologue at that time. And Colin John picked me to play this fat guy who was in the audience. And what's happening here, this was January 8th, I'm going to say, 2011. It was Jim Carrey did a monologue about the end of the world. You know, comes to the Mayan calendar. We're approaching it. You know, it's the end of the world. Do whatever you want to do. Say what you want to say. And he says, for instance, I'm looking at a pair of beautiful breasts right now, and they cut to me. And I go, thank you, Jim. Thank you, you know. And interesting story, though. He was supposed to go into the audience, which he did, and find a real audience member. I was what they call a plant. We rehearsed and everything. I was a plant in my team. But he was supposed to get a real young lady to propose marriage.
Right.
And we assumed they would say yes, and Jim would pull her out of the audience and pick her up and take her off, etc. So we do a dress rehearsal. I don't know if you're aware, but SNL does a dress rehearsal at 8 or 8:30. That's like a 2-hour show, maybe a little more. And there's an audience there. They tape it. And we do the dress rehearsal. He finds the perfect audience member, like a Goldie Hawn type, you know, giggly and everything. And then we go to do the show, and he finds this woman. Her name is Mindy. You can find the episode. And she shows her wedding ring. She doesn't want to go with him.
Oh, wow.
She doesn't want to marry him and all this stuff. And there's a moment where you see his face, and he's panicking. How are we going to have this? So I'm still sitting there, because we did our little shtick, you know, the breast bit. You know, we just did that. So I waved to him, and I have no idea. I'm just waving to him, like, I'm here if you need me, kind of thing. And she said, okay, forget it, Mindy. Come on, dude. And he grabs me out of the audience. He says, what's your name? Bob. No, because Bob, how would you like to be my life partner? I guess they weren't married. They go, sure, you know, whatever. And this is us going commercial. I hug him. And as a matter of fact, I had toyed to pick him up, because he picked up the girl.
Oh, gee.
I knew he couldn't pick me up, so I actually hugged him. I said, you want me to pick him? No, let's hold hands and wait. We literally did improv in front of millions.
That's funny. That's funny.
They don't normally do that.
That is, take it down just a bit, Bob and Jim. I want to tell you, one day I was standing on, you could take that picture. I was standing on, oh, no, go back. No, we want to go back to that picture, man. I was standing on a street corner, and they were filming Dumb and Dumber.
Oh, yes.
I wasn't even watching it. I turned around, and there he was. He seemed to be a very nice guy. He started, hey, guys, to start talking to everyone.
Let me tell you something. At rehearsal, you have to understand, with SNL, they're changing things all the time. As a matter of fact, when I was waiting to go on, I'm in the corridor. You see the corridor, the hallway with the pictures of all the hosts. I'm waiting to go on. And there was an audience member, a real audience member in my seat, but they had to pull them out. We needed to do the monologue. Right? So I'm waiting, and you don't know. And they just cut the bit, and Colin Jost, and should say his name right, and Colin and John Mulaney come over to me, and I'm thinking, oh no, I'm going to be cut. They says, Bob, when he's going to say, thank you, sir, and then you say thank you.
Right.
Chip. I was like, okay, and give us more of this. Well, I can give you money of that.
Yeah.
And that was it. And but the whole ending was nothing they wrote. And I ran into, was it Colin? Colin I ran into, John Mulaney I ran into a short time later. We were both auditioning for a project together. And he said, you saved our asses. Actually, Tim says that to me, too. He said that to me. You saved my ass, man. Thank you so much.
They should have given you a part on the show.
he was patting me on the shoulder, and all of a sudden I felt his hand. They pulled him off me, and were literally tearing. Somehow, the back opened up his jacket. They were changing him. You know, they do those fast changes, and I think the back may have opened up. They were already dressing him for the next sketch, and the stage manager was really nice because they all knew, the crew knew this was all a plan, this ending. And the stage manager said, "Ladies and gentlemen, now we're in commercial. This is off the air. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's hear from Bob Greenberg." And I waved from the stage, and the group people were high-fiving me as I went.
Oh, wow.
And that was so special. And I hung out for a little bit. I thought maybe they'd ask me to take them out again.
They should have given you a part on that show or had you on it another time.
Well, you know what would have been a great gag at the end? And I didn't know, I didn't feel I should. I wanted to see the writers, actually, because they didn't have this idea, but they kind of, the thing is with TV or film, when you're on camera and you're doing your thing, you're the king. You're the focus. You're the center of the world. As soon as you're done, get the fuck out. Literally.
Yeah.
Not in a bad way. It's just they move on to the next
one. Right.
I actually said to the cast director, "Can I, John and Colin around? I wanted to say thank you." "Oh no, they're busy now, but thank you. I'll tell them to say thank you. Get out."
Yeah.
Well, I wanted to suggest if they could find one that fit me. They put me in a wedding dress.
Oh, that would have been funny.
Since we got married on stage, right? So now I'm in a wedding dress, but I couldn't talk.
That's hilarious. Now, we got a lot to cover here. So do we have that clip downloaded of Conan, Matt? Mm-hmm. Okay. We'll briefly explain. We're going to show the clip of you on Conan. Briefly, what is this about?
Well, this clip, I did Conan a lot, but this clip was shot on Conan's set and part of a show called Late Line.
Okay.
With Al Franken and Robert Foxworth.
Okay.
And Miguel Ferreira.
Okay. So let's play that. Let's go ahead and play that clip.
As a broadcast journalist for more than 30 years, even I, the host, cannot do this letter justice.
Yeah, it's the kind of letter that needs the right kind of reader.
Yeah. Andy, this is an obvious job for Sniffles, the world's biggest crybaby.
Sniffles' reading will be enhanced by a balloon full of helium this evening.
It's only right.
Dear Conan and Andrew. As a broadcast journalist for more than 30 years, I believe your program may have lost sight of the vital distinction between entertainment and the news.
Damn them. It's funny.
That was
Foxworth.
That's funny.
So there was a whole story about men having a feud together, and that was Conan's response to him that he was watching the show, and the world's biggest crybaby, and I'm sucking the helium. One of the takes I got a little dizzy. You shouldn't be. But what got me that part, I put in the cry, which is kind of a Lou Costello cry.
Right.
That kind of thing. And Al Franken liked it a lot. So, there you go. And I had done some skits on Letterman before this. So I had a little background. Now, once I did the show, the Late Line sitcom, where I'm on Conan called me and I started doing bits on Conan.
Oh, really? I remember seeing that bit.
Yeah.
That bit.
That was
okay. Now listen, we're going to get to your real, your expertise, because you are you do a great Jackie Gleason. So we're going to show a little clip of you doing Jackie Gleason, doing Shakespeare. Listen.
And finally, Jack Gleason doing Shakespeare. To be or not to be? Oh, that is the question. Because you know that I know that you know that I'm the Prince of Denmark. Oh, I'm the Prince! I am the Prince! And Ophelia's a middle case. No! Now is the winter of our discontent. Mid-glorious summer by the son of York. A horse. A horse. No! My kingdom for a horse. Or a string of Peloponnese. Peloponnese. If you tickle us, do we not laugh? Ha 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 ha! If you prick us, do we not bleed? Norton, prick me. You prick me, Norton. Norton, will you prick me? Ah! Ah!
You can't play the whole thing, but you got the voice down, huh?
That was, just explain what that was. Well, the way you shot it too, it looked older. It looks like it was from 1911, but it was a parody of Vitaphone Short. I don't know how savvy this audience is. They used to shoot vaudeville performers in the early days of sound doing their act.
Right.
And they'd basically be in one like I was doing the act. So Travis D, who's a big vaudeville guy, and well, they shot me, and I did my entire act. You know, well, I did 6 minutes for them. But they put in the the black and white.
Right.
That stuff. So don't think that was shot in 1911.
You got the voice down very well.
No,
excellent.
Thank you.
Hey, show the picture of Bob with Trixie.
Oh yeah. Yes, that's Joyce Randolph. That was shot not too long ago. I think that was maybe about a year ago.
Wow.
Her birthday was, I think it's October. And yeah, this is at the Lambs Club. I'm a member of the Lambs Club. And yeah, we of course anytime she shows up, we honor her. And they had me do this. Gleason.
That had to bring a tear to her eye to hear you do that.
She kept calling me Jackie. It was very cute. Jackie.
That's amazing. That had to be a thrill for you to meet her, huh?
Oh yes, yeah. No, she's wonderful, and I'm very lucky because I also I know Larry Storch, and
yeah.
I knew the late Corey, and you mentioned Joe Franklin to me off camera before.
Yeah.
Franklin, and Nicky Freeman, a lot of great. I'm very fortunate that I've met and hung out with a lot of people.
That's amazing.
She's still with us, and Larry Storch is still with us, and also Pat Cooper, who I work with. I worked with Larry too, but I worked with Pat Cooper, and he's still with us.
Yeah, we're going to show a picture with you and Larry. Go to the next picture with Stan, as Stan. There you go.
Oh, Ollie.
It's like you're like a twin. Wait, this is Ollie, right?
That's Ollie.
You know, he's from Georgia.
Yes, Harlem, Georgia.
Uh-huh.
And every year in October, they have the Oliver Hardy Day
Yeah.
in Harlem.
Did you come? Did you go to it?
No, I never went. I was actually hoping to go this year because a friend of mine and his wife, well, the friend passed away, but the wife is still there. Is living in Georgia nearby. I forget what town, but nearby Harlem. So I was gonna go this year. But no, Ollie. Yes, he was born in Harlem, Georgia.
Right.
He got interested in film in Milledgeville.
Right, Milledgeville, yeah.
Yeah. He had a theater, a motion picture theater.
Oh.
He did everything. He showed film, he managed, and he got he felt he could be as bad as the boys and girls on the screen. That's exactly what he said later on. And he went to Jacksonville, Florida, which was a big film community, and got his start there. And Jax, they used to call it, J-A-X.
Yeah. So, listen, we're gonna have to we only have 10 minutes left. What?
Oh, real quick, he did study music for a very short time in Atlanta.
Really?
He wasn't interested in the opera. He went to the nightclub.
If you ever do go to that the Georgia Festival, give me a call. I'll meet you up there. I'll meet you. So let's get to a little bit of a clip of Show Laurel, a short Laurel Hardy clip. Okay, let's take it off. We got a lot to show here.
Yeah,
so, that was great, huh?
We didn't even get to the microphone.
I know. We have so much to show here.
In the middle.
What's that?
I would have started.
I know. I made a mistake. I should have started in the middle. Yeah. But we want to get to Lou Costello. Let's show a picture of Bob as Lou Costello. I was thinking that same thing. I should have started that in the middle.
That's Joe Bev. I've done Lou Costello with Rob Costello. I did it with Vic Martina. That's Joe Bev. And by the way, that Laurel was Jonathan Smith.
Yeah. You got the voices. You got the voices down.
I'm prepared.
Let's get to the clip with, let's go ahead and show the clip with Curly and Lou Costello. We're going to do Curly first.
Greenberg, grade pending. I'd like to do some impressions for you. My first one is Curly of the Three Stooges as the captain on the SS Titanic. Out of the way! Out of the way! Out of the way! Oh, look, an icicle! The icicle! Where's your popsicle? There's the moon, there's the stars, there's an iceberg! An iceberg! Now I'd like to do for you Lou Costello at the John Gotti trial. Mr. DA, are you asking me if I think John Gotti's a member of organized crime? Well, I'll tell you, confidentially, oh, there's John Gotti. There's John Gotti. There's John Gotti. John Gotti. John Gotti. John Gotti. John Gotti. Hey, you're back.
I did that, you know, the original was John Gotti Sr.
Yeah.
And then John Gotti Jr. got into trouble. I brought it back. And then I think the grandson got into trouble. I brought it back. But at some point, it was Lou Costello and O.J. Simpson.
Oh, wow.
Different thing.
You were on, we're going to show, you were on Diane Sawyer show about men and brain cells.
It was a story about that, yes.
Oh, let's play that clip. We only have 5 minutes left. That's right.
You may have heard the shocking findings of some Danish researchers that men, on the average, have about 4 billion more brain cells than women. Which, of course, only begs the question, what do they do with the surplus?
What am I doing with my 4 billion extra brain cells? What am I doing with my 4 billion extra brain cells? I'll have to ask my wife.
Okay. How'd you end up on there?
Well, what happened was I was performing that night at the comic strip, and they came in. What was the show? Was Primetime Live? Am I getting that right?
Yeah, probably so.
Right. And there was that story there. They wanted comedians' ideas, about that, and so they had a bunch of us. It's funny because they shoot us like as if we incorporated into our act, but actually we all went up. Single file, and did something to do with that story.
Okay.
And they used me actually twice in the credits and that.
Very good. A very young-looking Bob. How many years ago was that?
My hairline over here.
Okay.
I think I might be there actually.
So,
but anyway, my hairline was down. My hairline was down to here, I think.
Oh, so,
but I guess that was about.
Now let's show the picture with Bob with Robert De Niro. Briefly explain this, because we only have about 4 more minutes.
The film is called The Comedian, and they shot 1 or 2 days at Friars Club, and I was a member of the Friars Club at the time. I recently took a leave of absence, but I was a member of the Friars Club, and they wanted, real friars who are there, and I got some nice exposure.
Oh, wow.
I had a good day, hung out with Taylor Hackford. I have a nice picture of myself with Taylor Hackford.
And that was Jerry Lewis in that movie, right? No, it was Robert De Niro. Jerry Lewis wasn't in it. That was a different movie.
No. Oh, shucks. No, Forrest Leach.
Oh, of course. Okay. I remember that.
Billy Crystal is in the movie, and he actually says the word schmuck, and then I appear. I'm not kidding. It has nothing to do with me. De Niro says something to him in the elevator, and when De Niro exits, Crystal said schmuck, and then they cut to where he exits, which is where I am. And so he says schmuck, that cuts to the adjective there.
Right. So what we're going to do here, we're just going to scroll through some pictures of all the people you've met at the Friars Club, because I want to get to your set. So let's go real quickly. We won't have a lot of time for it. There's you with Kreskin.
Oh, Kreskin. Yes, he came to see with Dave Koenig.
Yeah.
This one is Larry Storch's 88th birthday. We did a show for him. This was actually shot the day after the Jim Carrey thing, so it was exciting. That is Carol
Baker.
Yes.
I had a crush on her when I was a little kid and saw her in the movie. There she is.
Oh, yeah.
And let's go to Dr. Demento.
Jonathan, and that is
Dr. Demento.
That's right.
Don Most.
Potsy?
Don Most.
Yes.
Yeah.
There's a Robert Clyde photobomb. Do you see? That's Louis Black. There is Soupy Sales. Jonathan. So that's an early. Look how young Jonathan has brown hair. He doesn't have white hair, and they're very thin Alvari. That's Ian Finkel, my great buddy. Son of Five Finkel. This is at Comic-Con. My daughter dresses up. Well, not this year, of course, but this is the Bows from the Sunshine.
There's you and Dave Koenig with his kids in Sunshine Boat.
There's Gilbert Gottfried, a nice friend, very good friend, and also Robert Klein. I worked on the Robert Klein Time Show, and I worked on USA All Night with Gilbert Gottfried. And there's Larry Storch again. We honored him. This must have been a year ago or so. I want to show a brief. There's Joe. There's my dear friend Ron Hutchison on the left. The late Ron Hutchison. He collected he was the part of the Vitaphone project. Steve Guerin. You saw Joe Franklin.
So I want to take you and Dave out in New York to Sardi's when it opens back up. If I ever come, will you guys go to lunch with me? Sardi's. I'll take you both out.
Well, you'll you'll take us out for lunch at Sardi's, and then we'll take you to Sarge's in the evening. That's Jewish deli if it's still open, or Katz's.
That's you know, as a kid, I remember chock full of nuts and horn incarnate.
No, corn.
What was it called?
Yeah, well, you have corn, you have a heart, but no, yeah, it's corn and heart.
Yeah, boy, I remember that was like. Do we have any time to play a little bit of his clip, like 30 seconds? Yeah. Okay, so we're going to show a little bit of your clip at Gotham.
All right.
He works all over the country. Give it up for Bob Greenberg, everybody!
I know some of you are looking at me thinking, what is Chris Christie doing here? I do admit I share the avoir du poil with the governor, I do. But there the similarities end because I'm Jewish. I don't think Chris Christie's Jewish. Not with a name like Chris Christie. When you call yourself Chris Christie, you might as well call yourself Christ, or not Jew, not Jew. He's been to Israel. I have not been to Israel, and he went to the Wailing Wall. And the New York Post, which is a very kind, benevolent paper, the New York Post.
We're sorry we had to cut it short. We're over time. Listen, thank you, Bob. It was a great honor to have you on. Please call me if you come to Georgia. Please call me. I'll meet you up there.
Definitely.
And I'll
love you all.
Very good. Thanks so much. Take care.
You,
okay.
Thank you, everybody.